Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Oswald and welcome to another edition of Let's Draw EarthBound. So today what we're going to look at, as we can see here, is the Foppy, or the Fobby, whichever one you like. We're going to do that, so let's get started, shall we? Of course, this is a very basic enemy from EarthBound. Let's see here, we want to draw on another layer, but you guys of course can do this at home. Right now I'm using something called Open Canvas, but you know, easily you guys could be doing this on paper with a pencil or pen or whatever. Okay, so we start with a rectangle basically, and don't worry about making it too perfect. It really doesn't have to be. Let's divide it down the middle in two, and let's divide it once again into 4 pieces. And this is going to help us essentially make our oval kind of shape that the body shape of the Fobby or Foppy is. So let's make an oval-y kind of shape around here. And, you know, if we don't like it too much, of course, we can adjust it a little bit here. I want him to be a little bit rounder maybe on the bottom, something like this. Perfect. Let's go in here with my eraser, fix that up a little. Whoop, just like that, maybe. There we go. And, you know, so we got our basic body shape here. Once we have the body shape done, of course, this guy needs feet. So let's put some feet in on him. Let's say 1 foot there. And we can put another foot here. Sometimes what I like doing is, as in you saw in the first drawing there, was I like to put, you know, make it look like he's kind of walking along, kind of like in the sprite, and have 1 foot that's kind of a little bit in front of his body. Now let's take another line here and divide this square here into 2 again, or these both squares I guess into 2, drag a line down there, and just on the inside of that square let's draw 2 circles. So there we go, 2 circles, and you know, if you guys were doing this, you could very well take this and, you know, erase all your construction lines or whatever. But I'm just going to make this guy fade out a little bit with another layer, which is one of the nice things that you can do on computers, of course, on something like Open Canvas. So let's get started on this guy. I'm just going to do this circle here for his eye first. This circle here for his other eye. I'm just going to trace the body here once again, just quickly. Something like that. And this kind of circular shape here, doesn't have to be perfectly circular of course, and his other foot that's over here, which is kind of like a U kind of shape. It used to be kind of like a circle more or less. Alright, so something I like doing too for eyes is showing that there's a little bit of a reflection in the eye here, so I kind of fill in most of the eye except for that one little part. And essentially, you know, there you've got your Fobby or Foppy, and all you need to do at this point is color him in. So I'm going to get rid of my construction lines, and heck, why not? Let's color him in. We've got plenty of time left, so let's do that, shall we? We will. Alright, so what I'm going to do actually is make another layer, put it underneath the layer that we're working on right now. But like I said, you guys don't need to do any of this kind of stuff. You know, you could be working on this with pencil and paper and ink kind of thing, and you could do your original lines maybe in pencil and, you know, trace them over in ink, and then maybe come in there with some coloring pencils or whatever you like to color with. So let's color this guy in some orange here. Make my pen a little bit bigger. Alright. Something actually I'm going to do now is, and if you guys were doing this coloring with, you know, some sort of traditional media, you want to do this ahead of time maybe, but leave a little space here when you're coloring, you know, to give a little bit of a reflection maybe on the guy. You don't have to, absolutely, but it's something I enjoy doing anyway. I find they look like they should have a little bit of a shine to them. Fobbies should. So, coloring them in again here. Again, let's make my pen a little bit bigger so this takes a little bit less time. And just fill in the strokes here around the eyes. And of course I could have just colored right over the eyes because they're not going to go away because I have an extra layer, just like that, see? And just like so, like so. And if you were using traditional media, again, you probably wouldn't want to go over that little spot on the eyes. Let's just erase that little part there. And now we're even going to add some shading in. Why not while we're at it? What I like to do with orange to shade in orange is use kind of a bit of a brownish color. So drag it down a little bit into kind of a reddish and make a little bit of a brownish kind of darker, slightly darker than your orange, but not too much darker. And, you know, kind of pretend your light is coming in again from this way, more or less, and let's draw in a little bit of a shade underneath him here and to the side, just like that, to give him a little bit of form and dimensionality. and he's going to be casting a little bit of shadow, of course, onto his foot as well. There's going to be some from the foot itself casting onto itself, and let's just make this foot here pretty much all together brownish, because, you know, I don't know, it's just not catching a whole lot of light, because this is kind of like the underneath of his foot that's facing us. And we could have just made his other foot, you know, same as the other one, of course. That's how you could do it, of course, for the Foppies. If we want to do Fobbies, basically the same thing. We're starting with a pinkish color, and so let's, you know, fill them. Oops, different layer here. Need to use a different one. Layer, new layer. There we go. And put it underneath that one, and let's fill them in a nice pinkish color. So let's go with that, and continue along here. And I mean, you get the basic idea. I mean, this is a very simple, of course, character from the EarthBound series, and, you know, very easy to draw. It's a introductory beginner's level, if you like, and, you know, it's at the same time, though, it looks nice once you're done with it. And, you know, you could just leave them like that, of course, if you like, but like I say, we're going to do a little bit of a shade, and I like with a pink like that to drag it a little bit towards purple and bring the brightness of it down a little bit. And actually, I want a little bit darker than that. Here we go. So kind of a purplish color. It doesn't look all that great at first when you just got a bit of it in there, maybe, but once you got a little bit more, it might look a little bit better. There we go. And something like that. I'm not actually keen on that purple too much, but it works anyway. Maybe even a little bit darker, I don't know. No. Drag it up there a little bit more. Something like that. Yeah, sure, why not? That looks perfect. And of course, if you're doing this digitally, I mean, that's one of the advantages of it, is you can really afford to play around with it a little more and see what you can and can't do and all that sort of thing there. But I mean, you don't have to be working digitally by any stretch of the imagination, for sure. All this stuff can easily be done with, you know, your traditional pencil and paper and some coloring pencils or whatever. So that's about it, I guess, for today. We had our Foppy, our Fobby, and the original one here somewhere. Bloop, just like that. And let's, yeah, move this one here over a little bit, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't matter. They're kind of crossing each other, that's fine. And that's about it for this video, so check in for some of the next ones. I've already filmed a Mr. Saturn video, not really filmed, but recorded, I guess. And you can check that out as well. So I'm Ozwalled. See the next videos as well. I'm going to be making a number of them in the future. So yeah, thanks again for watching.